Diffusion. We can learn what is diffusion. Okay. Take water in a beaker and add a drop of blue ink into it. You can do it in your home. Take water in a beaker and add a drop of blue ink into it. What do you see? You can see that the ink spreads in water, right? The ink spreads in the water. Now, we can do another experiment. Okay, heat a few crystals of iodine. Take some iodine in a watch glass and heat it. Iodine changes into vapor. When you heat, what happens? It changes into vapor, or it changes into its gaseous state. Okay, then collect this vapor in a jar. What you have to do after converting it into vapor by heating this iodine, you have to collect it in a jar. You have to collect the vapor in a jar and keep another jar on top of it in inverted position. What you have to do next? You have to keep another jar on top of it in inverted position. You can see in this picture there are two jars. Okay, one lower jar and one upper jar. In lower jar, what we have to do? We have to collect the iodine vapor. Then we have to keep another jar on top of it in inverted position. Okay, what happens? You can see that the color of iodine in lower jar fades. See, in the second picture you can see that the color of iodine has faded. Okay, what is the reason? You know that this lower jar contains what? Iodine vapor. It flows or it goes to the upper jar. It moves. Why? Because it is in gaseous state and it has freedom of movement. This gas has freedom of movement. Why? Because it is in vapor state, right? So it goes up to the jar that is kept inverted on top of the lower jar, right? And you can see that this iodine vapors are visible in the upper jar. So what are the two differences that you can feel once you do this experiment? You can see that the color of the lower jar fades and you can see the color in the upper jar, or this color is visible in the upper jar. That means you can see iodine vapor in the upper jar, and the reason is this iodine flows upwards, right? So here what happened? This ink spreads in water, and here also this gas spreads or mixes with the air in the upper jar. It mixes with the air in the upper jar. Here it mixes with water, the ink mixes with the water, and here the gas vapor, iodine vapor, mixes with the air in the upper jar, right? So this process of mixing is called diffusion. So what is diffusion? See its definition. Diffusion is the spontaneous mixing of different particles having freedom of movement. This freedom of movement is very important. So it is the mixing of different particles having freedom of movement. Okay, particles that are free to move mixes. This process is called diffusion. Is that clear? Diffusion. So these are two examples of diffusion. Here you can see that the ink diffuses with water. It mixes with water. Here it goes up, mixes with iodine vapor, mixes with air, right? So what is diffusion? Is the spontaneous mixing of different particles having freedom of movement. Okay, and is the rates of diffusion, so diffusion of gases and liquids, the same? No, right? In gas the diffusion rate is more. Why? Freedom of movement is more. Here in these two experiments you can see the rate of diffusion is higher in this case, where iodine mixes with air in the upper jar. Rate of diffusion is high in this experiment compared to the rate of diffusion in the experiment where you put ink in water. Why? Because the freedom of movement in gases is higher than the freedom of movement in liquids. So the rate of diffusion will not be the same. See, both liquids and gases has the ability to diffuse. Both liquid and gas has the ability to diffuse, but whose rate of diffusion is higher? It is that of gas. Okay, so if you are asked, is rates of diffusion of gases and liquids the same? You should say no, it's not the same. In gas, diffusion rate is more compared to that of liquids. Why? Because the freedom of movement of particles is more in gases. The freedom of movement of particles is more in gases. Right. Now, I'm asking you, is there any relation between temperature and diffusion? Is temperature and diffusion related? Yes. Heat increases the freedom of movement of particles. If you supply heat, what happens to the particles? Its kinetic energy increases. That means its freedom of movement increases. So what happens if the freedom of movement of particles increases? The rate of diffusion also increases, right? If the freedom of movement of particles increases, that means the rate of diffusion also increases. See, the smell of hot food spread quickly to a long distance. Have you noticed this? While your mama is cooking, you can see that you'll get the smell even if you are sitting in your hall or even outside, right? Why? Because the smell of hot food spread quickly to a long distance. If the substance is hot, what happens? Its kinetic energy increases, so diffusion rate increases, right? So rate of diffusion increases with the increase in temperature. So now we have studied two things that influences the rate of diffusion. You know what is diffusion? It is spontaneous mixing of different substances, right? And what are the two factors? There are many factors, only you have to study these two factors. One is the temperature. When temperature increases, rate of diffusion increases, and the other is the state of matter, right? You know different states of matter, and when it comes when you compare gases and liquids, the rate of diffusion is higher in gases compared to that in liquids. So what are the two factors? We can say that one is the state of matter, whether it is gas or liquid, and the other is the temperature. When temperature increases, what happens to the rate of diffusion? Rate of diffusion also increases. Is that clear? Now see, these are some diffusion. Okay, a tea bag immersed in a cup of hot water will diffuse into the water and change its color. Have you noticed this? Okay, while you dip a tea bag, what you can see? It will diffuse into the water and changes its color. Okay, its color is changed. And second, a spray of perfume or room freshener will get diffused into the air, by which we can sense the odor. And third example, sugar gets dissolved evenly and sweetens the water without having to stir it. Okay, sugar gets dissolved evenly and sweetens the water even if you don't stir it. Okay, but it will take time if you don't stir. As we lit the incense stick, its smoke gets diffused into the air and spreads throughout the room. See, what is incense stick? Agarbatti. What happens if you lit this agarbatti? You are giving heat energy. What happens to the particles? Its kinetic energy increases, diffusion rate increases, and this smoke gets diffused into the air and spreads throughout the room. Okay. Now another example is, by adding boiling water into the dried noodles, the water diffuses, causing rehydration and making dried noodles plumper and saturated. Okay, you can try this. By adding boiling water into the dried noodles, the water diffuses, causing rehydration and making dried noodles plumper and saturated. So these are some examples for diffusion. So you should learn at least two of them. Okay. So I am repeating all the concepts again. Listen. What is diffusion? See, you have two experiments here. Water, you are taking water in a beaker and adding a drop of blue ink into it. You can see that the ink spreads in water. And second experiment is, you are heating iodine and iodine turns into vapor. And if you keep if you collect this vapor in a jar and keep another jar on top of it in inverted position, you can see that this iodine vapor diffuses into the air in the upper jar, right? Now you understood what is diffusion. It is a spontaneous mixing of different particles having freedom of movement. Is the rates of diffusion of gases and liquids the same? No. You already understood the factors that influences the rate of diffusion. One is the state of matter. It is liquid or gas. Okay, now and this other one is temperature. When temperature increases, what happens to the rate of reaction? Rate of reaction also increases. And now you know some examples for diffusion. Immersing a tea bag in a cup of hot water, a spray of perfume or room freshener will get diffused in the air, into the air, by which we can sense the odor. Then sugar gets dissolved evenly and sweetens the water without having to stir it. Okay, like that you learn 2 or 3 examples. Now another thing is pure substances and mixtures. What is your next topic? Pure substances and mixtures. Materials made of particles of identical nature are called pure substances. So what are pure substances? Materials made of particles of identical nature. What is the meaning of identical nature? Same characteristics or same properties, right? So these materials made up of particles of identical nature are called pure substances. See, molecules of water, common salt, gold have their own unique properties, right? Molecules of water. If you take molecules of water, all the particles are of identical nature. Okay? All are H2O, all are water molecules. So it has the properties of water. Now common salt, if you take common salt, then also they have the particles of the, it has identical nature, right? Substance made of particles of different nature are called mixtures. So what are mixtures? Substances made of particles of different nature are called mixtures. Okay, I'll tell you an example. By this example, you will get clear idea about what is pure substance and what is mixture. In saline water, what is saline water? Salt water. Both particles with properties of salt and water are present, right? If you take saline water, if you take water, it has only one property, right? Identical properties. You can see that the particles have identical properties. But if you take saline water, that is salt water, what happens? Both particles with the properties of salt and water are present. So in saline water, two different particles are present. Which are they? Salt and water, right? Now from this example you'll get more idea. See, I'm telling you some examples of pure substances. Gold, it's a pure substance. Gold is gold and all particles have same characteristics. Water has same characteristic. Now sugar, salt, ice, water vapor, carbon dioxide, these all are examples for pure substances. And what about mixtures? Salt solution, it consists of two different particles. Okay, they are not of identical characters, right? One is salt and the other is water. Sugar solution, one is sugar and the other is water. Soda water, it's a mixture of water and carbon dioxide. Okay, soil is it's a mixture of different particles, right? If you take soil, you know that it consists of different particles. Tea, it's a mixture again. Tea consists of water, milk, then tea powder, etc., right? What about seawater? It also contains several different particles. Salt is there, some minerals will be there. So these are all mixtures, examples for pure substances and mixtures. Now you have to do this assignment. You have to classify the following substances into pure substances and mixtures. Some examples are, some words are given here: gold, soda water, soil, water, ice, water vapor, sugar, common salt, carbon dioxide, sugar solution, salt solution. You have to make a table like this and write down it in your notebook. Okay, so what are pure substances and mixtures? I hope you understood what are pure substances and mixtures. It's again very important, this classification, whether you can identify a substance, if it is pure substance or a mixture. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.